de Scaloni en el Depor. Él llega después del título, la temporada 99-2000, donde jugadores como Turu Flores, por ejemplo, y el propio Scaloni, lateral derecho, mediocampista derecho, eran fundamentales en la formación de Javier Irureta. Atajó en Villarreal, en Albacete, en Atlético de Madrid y en Deportivo de La Coruña. Un arquero estilo Jorge Campos, pero no tenía ese desdoblamiento entre número 1 y número 9 como el guarabaya mexicano. Pero era un arquero muy, muy vistoso, que no pasó inadvertido en la Liga Española. Ahora es el entrenador de Honduras.
Tiene imagen de Diego Almada. Enviamos fuerza. En este momento a Leo Valerdi. Momento complicado, doloroso para cualquier futbolista perderse la participación en el Mundial tan cerca, ¿no? Así que mucho ánimo, buena energía para él y a seguir adelante con todo. Llega el momento de los himnos. Y se nos vendrá el comienzo del partido por Telefe para toda la Argentina. Juega la Argentina. Juega el campeón del mundo en la antesala del Mundial. Mitad de Honduras y mitad de Argentina. En la tribuna, a continuación, el himno nacional argentino.
Cerraste. Sí. ¿Se acordaron de la Sudamericana de Colón, no?
Argentino, así sonará en Kansas dentro de 10 días y sentiremos la misma emoción de siempre de escuchar nuestro himno y ver a nuestra selección por Telefe juntos en la Copa del Mundo. Saludo protocolar y se vendrá el comienzo del partido preparatorio, puesta a punto, caras nuevas, verlo al Colo Barco en acción, verlo a Lo Celso, a ver cómo está Palacios, que hay en el lateral derecho. Allí el saludo protocolar, habitual. Va a posar ahora Honduras. Tenemos ya una bandera haciendo alusión a a Leo Valerdi. ¿No? Bueno, igualmente, abrazo grande para él. Reiteramos en este momento difícil para el defensor argentino. Bueno, posa la Argentina. Y repasamos formaciones, Juan Pablo, la formación del conjunto argentino.
Juan Musso en el arco, Agustín Giai, Otamendi y Lisandro Martínez en los centrales, Tagliafico lateral por la izquierda, Lo Celso, Palacios y Barco, el triángulo del medio, Simeone y Almada, y Lautaro Martínez, el 9 con la 22, el equipo de Lionel Scaloni.
Y ahora pasaremos a Honduras en un rato nada más. Así el árbitro del partido.
Víctor Rivas, estadounidense, asistente número 1, Jennifer Garner, asistente número 2, Tiffany Rupin, el cuarto árbitro, Lorenzo Hernández, el VAR, Allen Chapman y AVAR, Edwin Kurisevich.
Recordemos que comienzan a aplicarse todas las nuevas reglas y modificaciones, no tanto en el VAR como respecto a las demoras y demás para agilizar el juego a partir de hoy, así que a estar atentos, ¿no? Bueno, Mengibar y Otamendi los capitanes. Será el momento de la foto y después sí repasaremos la formación de Honduras, el conjunto hondureño. Por Telefe para toda Argentina. La antesala de la Copa del Mundo. Listos y preparados. Juan Pablo y Honduras.
Mengíbar, Rosales, Sacasa, Maldonado, Meléndez, Arriaga y Rodríguez en la base, Moncada, Palma arriba, es un 4-2-3-1 que se completa con Benguche, el número 9. Entra y sale la placa, pero sí que la tenemos anotada acá en el cuaderno, ¿no? Puede haber alguna modificación entre los laterales, que Meléndez juegue por la derecha y Rosales por la izquierda, pero es el equipo que teníamos en nuestra carpeta, tras haber visto un par de juegos de Honduras.
Bueno, va quedando todo preparado. Un comienzo partido. Juega Argentina por Telefe. Estamos juntos. Es importante en buenas condiciones el campo de juego,
Está en muy buenas condiciones, lo que hace es mucho calor, Pablo. 28 grados la temperatura, 32 de sensación térmica y 78% del porcentaje de humedad que se siente,
Si de cerca se lo ve un poco más flojo, ¿no? No tan sólido. Bueno, moverá la Argentina y se vendrán los primeros 45 minutos. Todo preparado. Bien el comienzo del partido. Nos preparamos para el Mundial. Estamos listos. Peter más. Peter Rivas. Y arranca los primeros 45 minutos acompañados por Telefe. Estamos juntos. Siempre juntos con Argentina. Esperando el Mundial. Está allí, la vuelta de la esquina. Estamos en modo Mundial. Recontra Varija. Y ahora dejan atrás. Deja pasar a Otamendi. Le va quedando la pelota a Musso. Le entrega a Musso. Domina él. Musso. Licha Martínez. Domina Lisandro Martínez. Otamendi. Abierto Barco. Lo comenta Juan Pablo Barci, el trabajo y la información de Sofía Martínez. Barco.
Barco centro derecha, Palacios centro izquierda. Comparten el eje. Lo Celso y Almada un poco más adelante. Casi un cuadrado, Pablo, en la mitad de la cancha. Barco en modo Racing de Estrasburgo, a pierna cambiada para tener toda la cancha de frente y quedar perfilado desde ese lugar de la cancha, desde el centro hacia la derecha para manejar con la zurda.
Domina Barco, deja Barco, Otamendi, la cambia Otamendi, viene para Tagliafico, abierto Giuliano Simeone por la izquierda, tocaba Palacios, buena pelota para Tagliafico, va para Giuliano, espera Lautaro por el medio, para donde se debía, y habrá lateral que corresponde a Argentina, allí, Scaloni, con Pablito Aymar, con Walter Samuel, con Ratón Ayala, habrá lateral, que lo hicieron, entregaba a Lo Celso, la presión de pelota afuera, la marca del número 6 de Meléndez, el lateral que corresponde al conjunto argentino, la que de manos para la Argentina, minuto 2, se deja Licha Martínez y ahora Otamendi,
Arrancó Giai, Pablo, bien adelantado por la derecha, y Simeone por la izquierda, son los que le dan amplitud al equipo en el arranque, pegados a las bandas. Simeone a pierna cambiada porque es diestro, ¿no? Jugando en la izquierda.
Luego Licha Martínez, Tagliafico, Palacios, Ezequiel Palacios, y Lo Celso, toca Lo Celso, va cortito con Thiago Almada, y ahora Lo Celso, se va a meter en profundidad la espalda de Meléndez, A la carrera de Juliano, que ahora recupera el conjunto hondureño ahora. La abrió para Rosales. Viene Rosales. Domina el 8. Rosales. En Texas. El partido para ahora 0-0. Otra vez para Rosales. Porque de primera de Palma quedó corto. Atrás dejaba Barco. Y ahora Giai. Para acción. Viene Giai. Barco. Otra vez para Giai. Toca Giai. Le cargaba atrás la pelota como podía Lo Celso. La recupera Honduras ahora. Viene para Arriaga. Mete a Arriaga. Largo. La toma Musso. La pelota del arquero Atlético de Madrid. Va a sacar Juan Musso. Ha comenzado el partido. Está jugando la Argentina por Telefe. 0-0 para ahora Juan Pablo.
La presión de Honduras arranca con Palma el 10 y Benguché el 9. Moncada y Rivas abiertos y Arriaga el 5 con Rodríguez se hacen cargo de la zona central. Ven como Argentina lo suelta a Giai, que ya entra en cuadro recién aquí en campo rival, bien abierto y adelantado, con Barco y Palacios en la primera línea, y Lo Celso y Thiago Almada centralizados y un poco más adelante.
Allí venía para Thiago Almada, y ahora Licha Martínez, toca Licha, Palacios, lo que Ezequiel deja Palacios, Giai, mete Giai, Barco, encara Barco, rebotó el balón, y ahora el lateral que corresponde al seleccionado argentino, sin imagen de Molina, entrando de Honduras. Habrá saque de manos al conjunto argentino. Comenzó el partido, minuto 4 ya. La pelota Palma, la termina ganando Lo Celso. Palacios, y Lo Celso, por abajo. Almada que la cambia. Juliano, pasa a Tagliafico, va para Tagliafico. Cruzaba Arriaga, lateral para el conjunto argentino. Habrá saque de manos.
No es la primera vez que Scaloni lo prueba a Juliano Simeone allí a pierna cambiada. Ha jugado frecuentemente y mejor por el otro costado.
Y venía para Juliano. Sienta Argentina ahora. Venía para Palacios. Palacios. Toma Otamendi, la deja atrás. Deja Marico la pelota ahora para Licha Martínez. Insiste ahora la Argentina. Ya la abrieron. La personal de Juliano Simeone. Va Juliano. Falta, infracción. Y ahora tiro libre corresponde al seleccionado hondureño. Otamendi y Licha los centrales. La vuelta a la selección de Lisandro Martínez, Juan Pablo, después de bastante tiempo, ¿no?
Sí, señor, y después de mucho tiempo Otamendi de 2. En el braseo le mete el manotazo. Ahí Juliano Simeone el extremo Moncada, que por supuesto ayuda a Meléndez en ese costado derecho de la defensa hondureña.
Y si la peinaban. Y lo fuera de juego está todo invalidado. Tiro libre para la Argentina. Y lo va a hacer Palacios. La deja ahora para que salga rápido Licha Martínez. Dijo Otamendi, Marico. Otamendi. En Texas el partido 0-0. Por Telefe para toda la Argentina. Esperando la Copa del Mundo. Habrá fútbol todos los días por Telefe con los mejores partidos. Tocaba Thiago Almada. Palacios. Tagliafico. Ya venía para Lisandro Martínez. Y ahora Otamendi, Marico. Otamendi. Mete Otamendi, mete largo. La corre Juliano. A la espalda de Meléndez. Habrá saque de arco. Le corresponde al seleccionado hondureño. 0-0 el marcador. Aquí la imagen de Juliano Simeone. Otro Atlético Madrid en el campo de juego. Vamos a sacar encima ahora. Sacar el arquero.
La presión, Thiago Almada en la línea de Lautaro Martínez.
La dejó corta, Juliano. Va Simeone, pide Barco. Va Juliano, le pega el arco. Benjíbar retomando. Es pelota del arquero. Remate de Juliano, respuesta del arquero. Toma Argentina, minuto 7, Juan Pablo.
Se tomó su tiempo Juliano, se lo concedió Honduras, había espacio y terminó siendo una buena opción. Después de comprobar que no había un pase con ventaja posible, remató de afuera el arquero, bien con las manos, mal con el pie en la secuencia.
Este Barco, por rápida la entrega, no estaba acomodado Giai, y hay lateral que corresponde a Honduras.
Se toma su tiempo porque, insisto, se lo conceden, una conducción cortita, así que no toca la pelota y después sí hay espacio para matar.
Pero Barco venía para Lautaro, dominando y la deja atrás. Sigue Palacios, Palacios, Licha, viene Martínez, Martínez, Barco, lo combina Barco. La presión de Barco, le procede Giai, da una mano, el lateral que corresponde a Honduras, la que le va para Honduras. Una recuperación rápida del hombre de Palmeiras. Messi lo muestra y la gente se vuelve loca en todo el estadio. Nuestro capitán, nuestro 10. Vamos, Leo Viejo nomás. Que se viene a Copa del Mundo. Maldonado deja atrás. Presión Argentina. A sacar Menjivar. Saca el arquero. Aguantaba la pelota ahora el número 9. Benguché. No hay nadie para que lo ayude. Y habrá lateral. Luego es el Tagliafico. Ahora el saque de manos. Tagliafico. Thiago Almada. Tagliafico. Palacios. Otra vez para Almada. Ya la cambió. Buena para Giai. Viene Giai, lo deja atrás. Ahora Barco. Palacios. Vete Palacios. Para Lautaro. Gira Lautaro. Qué linda. Linda Lautaro. Muy linda Lo Celso. Argentina Lo Celso. Juliano. Pasa el Tagliafico. La lleva por delante. Saque de arco. Que corresponde a Honduras.
Los tantos recursos que ha incorporado Lautaro Martínez en su recorrido profesional, tirarse atrás forma parte del circuito de juego y también recibir de espalda y con control, giro y gambeta sacarse encima del marcador y quedar de cara al arco para o rematar o hacer jugar a un compañero.
Se viene el estreno del Mundial. Tenemos el jueves en México. Para México-Sudáfrica. Desde temprano con la ceremonia inaugural. A disfrutar de la Copa del Mundo. Todos los días fútbol. Juan Telefe, prepárense. Se viene el juego. Jugador de Honduras me parece una molestia, ¿no? A ver. Sí. Así la historia, ¿eh? No está bien Arriaga, ¿eh? Creo que pide el cambio. Quedó golpeado Arriaga, el número 5. El partido se detiene, minuto 10. Por ahora, 0-0.
Y estos recursos que ha incorporado Lautaro también tienen que ver con su evolución futbolística luego del Mundial de Qatar. Argentina llega con futbolistas que han crecido mucho más allá de títulos, de pases. Hablo de Lautaro Martínez, Julián Álvarez, Enzo Fernández, Alexis McAllister.
Deportes, Televicentro y Emisoras Unidas. Ya se ha recuperado.
No, se mueve ya de la banca.
Kervin Arriaga.
No.
O sea,
Kervin está siendo atendido allá.
Está
afuera, pero ya se mueve la banca. No alcanzamos a distinguir quién podía ser el jugador.
Vamos a ver por quién se decide. Ya la jugó Giovanni Lo Celso. Lisandro Martínez. La tiene Argentina. Marcando tenemos aquí a Jorge Benguché. También está presionando Palma. Sabemos que Edwin Rodríguez,
Y
que nos ataca Argentina.
haciendo pareja Palma con Edwin, que se ha quedado solitario por la mitad, por el centro.
Buena pelota que le mandaban aquí a Agustín Yay. Mejor la tiene la selección catracha. Pelota que viene comprometida. Vamos a ver esa casa. Responda bien. Ahí está enviando comprometida esa pelota. La manejaba Yay. Llegó para Valentín Barco. La juega Barco. Cuidado con Argentina, que nos pueden hacer daño a través de Simeone. El centro. Cabezazo por parte de Lautaro Martínez. La segunda vez que salva ya Menjivar.
Rosales se descolocó de la presencia de Martínez ahí.
Y la repetición es de Lo Veo, envía y retira dinero gratis de Honduras a Honduras y recibí 200 lempiras por cada remesa. Monegran que cobres por Lo Veo en punto loto.
Buena recuperación. Qué buena recuperación por parte de la selección catracha, Vicinito. Ahí está tocando para José Rosales. Manda Rosales. La tiene, aquí está intentando la selección catracha a través de Rivas. Jugó para Denis Maldonado. Maldonado de nuevo para Kervin Arriaga, jugador de Levante que tuvo muy buen cierre en la Liga Española, que salvador del descenso. Giancarlo Sacasa.
Presenta bien Arriaga para darle salida por dentro.
Tocaron la buena para Edwin Rodríguez. La tiene Kervin Arriaga. Ahí está asumiendo esa posta. Toca bien. Ahora mandaron para Denis Maldonado, el del Rubin Kazan de Rusia. Viene pelota para José Rosales. Rosales la manda al ataque. Vamos a ver qué podemos tener en ofensiva. Viene la marcación de la defensa de Argentina. Se hicieron de la pelota, la mandó Ezequiel Palacios para Valentín Barco. La tiene Otamendi para Lisandro Martínez. Aquí está Licha. La pide en el medio Ezequiel Palacios. bastante activo en el juego. Dejó para Lo Celso, de nuevo para jugar esa pelota con Ezequiel Palacio. Palacio con Valentín Barco. Argentina que tiene la posesión de la pelota, prolongada posesión. Ahí están sirviendo balón para Ezequiel Palacios. Jugó bien. La manda para Otamendi. Se decide, se va al ataque. Ahora viene a recibir el balón Thiago Almada. De las arreglan los argentinos para ver cómo pueden hacer daño. Ahí está el pase. Pelota que va a llegar para Jai. Centro. Disparo. No le pudo pegar ahí. Lautaro Martínez le quedó en la zurda y al final tiro de esquina. Nos salvamos.
Son precisos para meter entre líneas, entre los espacios que queden con la precisión. Ahí, por ejemplo, ¿no? Supera a 3 futbolistas, ya ahí se cierra Rosales, queda el espacio abierto y, bueno, Meléndez hace una buena cobertura y ahí se apura un poquito Moncada estaba sin marca, pudo haber controlado.
Tiro de esquina para Argentina, el campeón del mundo nos tiene amenazado. Ahí vean ustedes cómo se marca en el área chica, cuántos jugadores hay en la zona 550, lanzamiento de esquina, pelota que queda de rebote, la va a ganar Valentín Barco. Barco se hace con la pelota, trata de pasar bien Rosales, que bien lo aguantó, trata de pasarlo.
Sí, podía pasar a Arriaga, hacer una combinación, pero no lo eligió.
La tiene Barco, cómo pasa la pelota por Valentín Barco. Ahora viene de Ezequiel Palacios, este es Giovanni Lo Celso. La jugaron ahora esa pelota para Lisandro Martínez, Tagliafico, Nicolás Tagliafico para Lisandro Martínez. Argentina tiene el manejo de la pelota. Lisandro Martínez la mueve rápido, rapidísimo. Ahí estamos, ahora para Jai. Va a tratar de atacar, todavía no toma la decisión, se le va desmarcando Valentín Barco.
No presionamos la pelota, solo custodiamos territorio.
Honduras que está totalmente replegado, esperando, viene el pase, están buscando crear fisura los argentinos. Ahí está Lautaro, la jugaba para Lo Celso, le saca la pelota, la gana Argentina. Lo Celso, pelota suelta en el área, busca Argentina, la gana mejor Christopher Meléndez. Ahí está el jugo, pelota que equivoca, la tiene mejor Lisandro Martínez, se va a la zona de ataque, jugó ahora para Ezequiel Palacios, la mandaron para Valentín Barco, toca Barco, viene ahora para Jai, la va a sentar, pelota que choca, va a la final y estilo de esquina, favorece a Argentina, llegando bien Jai, la banda derecha.
Sí, por rato cargan por izquierda, ahora cargan del centro para la derecha y nosotros todavía no hacemos 2 pases seguidos o 3, cada vez que la recuperamos inmediatamente la perdemos muy rápido.
Ahí está justamente el lanzamiento de esquina, sin consecuencias, afortunadamente, la portería de Caracol Mengíbar.
Todavía Palma no aparece en escena, Rigo Rivas tampoco, Moncada. Apenas la recupera Edwin y Arriaga, pero no hay conexión para combinar.
Vamos con el saque de puerta de Ban País.
Con Ban País, que te da el servicio oportuno y respaldo para convertir tu idea en un negocio. Ban País, juntos hacia adelante.
Pelota que va al ataque, vamos a ver quién la puede ganar. Viene Lisandro Martínez, juega Lisandro para Juan Musso, que no tiene trabajo. Musso no presiona, Derek Moncada, la jugaron ahora para Otamendi, dejó para Barco, trata de llegar de nuevo Valentín Barco, se hace con la pelota Thiago Almada, se complica ante la marca de
دائمة وسنا أيضا وتمني. تذكرون تمني لما بدأ مشواره مع المنتخب الأرجنتيني مع الراحل وأعظم من دعم الساحرة المستديرة دييغو أرماندو مارادونا. ما كان اوتوميندي اللي نشوفه في الوقت الحالي. اوتوميندي بدأ أيضا كظهير، حتى كانت الجماهير الأرجنتينية ما كانت مقتنعة فيه، إلى أن أصبح الصخرة في فترة من الفترات ومطرب للعديد من الأندية، وارتدى قميص السيتي وفالنسيا والأربع باركا، ويقدم أيضا مردود كبير مع الفريق البرتغالي العريق. كرة تعود له على تعدد إلى رمية تماس. رمية تماس وبداية ظهوره في 2009 مع الأرجنتين، وصل إلى 130 مباراة وسجل 8 أهداف. واسكالوني اللي الآن يبدأ ويأخذ رشقة من المياه ويعطي تعليمات سكالوني للاعبين. هذا السيميوني اللي يعتمد عليه ايضا سكالوني في هذه المباراة وفي هذا اللقاء. سكالوني صاحب 48 سنة، من اصغر المدربين في هذه النسخة. سكالوني كان لاعب ظهير مع نيوزل بويز، مع سيجنتس، مع ليفربول كارونيا، مع ويست هام، مع الراسينج، مع لاتسيو ومايوركا واتلانتا والمنتخب الارجنتيني. سكالوني ربما لما اعلن عن قرار تعيينه اكثر المتفائلين، واتوقع ان سكالوني سيحقق ما عجز عنه الاسماء الكبيره اللي سبقوا. لكن الارجنتين وجدت ضالتها في هذا الرجل. هنا الجماهير الارجنتينية لسه يرتدي هذا العاشق قميص برشلونة وعليه اسم ميسي. لا يمكن ان يمحى اسم ليونيل ميسي من ذاكرة كل عاشق ومحب للفريق الكتالوني. ولا لاعبي منتخب الهندوراس في الكولينج بريك بسبب طبعا الاجواء الحارة هذه الصغيرة. رقم 10 حاضر في كل مكان، رقم البرغوث، عاشق ومحب للبرغوث الصغير والكبير. دائما هم يرددون سيبقى ميسي وحدنا إذا ضاقت ليالينا، سيبقى ميسي وحدنا إذا ضاقت ليالينا. لذلك هم حاضرين بأعداد كبيرة وسعداء ومستمتعين أكيد بمشاهدة التانجو، وأمنيتهم أن يشاهدوا ميسي. هذا ميسي، هذا ميسي. سيبقى ميسي وحدنا إذا ضاقت ليالينا وإذا دارت بنا الدنيا ولاح الصيف خفاقا وعاد الشعر عصفورا. إلى دنيا يا مشتاقا. نعم يا ميسي، هكذا هو لسان حالهم الآن، ينتظرون بأن يعود مرة أخرى وأن يداعب الساحرة المستديرة على المستطيل الأخضر ولو لدقائق قليلة، ولو لدقائق قليلة. لما سئل بيب غوارديولا عن عدم إراحة ميسي كان يقول هؤلاء حضروا من أجل مشاهدته، لماذا أحرمهم؟ لماذا أحرمهم؟ ميسي اللي أيضا وده أنه يشارك أكيد في كل مباراة، وصل إلى 38 وفي الأيام القادمة راح يقترب من 39 سنة. لكن لسه والله ما ملينا، والله ما ملينا يا ميسي. ودنا انك تقدم وتستمر وتعطينا والتانجو يمتعنا. والكرة وصلت الان بلمسة امامية لاغوستنشي. عادت مرة اخرى المحاولة لرودريغيز، مضغوط عليه، حاول انه يمر لكن الكرة بها صافرة وخطأ لمصلحة المنتخب الهندوراسي. صافرة وخطأ لمصلحة منتخب هندوراس. منتخب الهندوراسي تأهل لبطولة كأس العالم 2014 مع المنتخب الأمريكي والمنتخب الكوستاريكي، وقبل ذلك أيضا في
والاثابات. هذا المنتخب الهندوراسي قادم التعادل ايضا مع منتخب البيرو وديا في 2022 في ليغانيس في اسبانيا. هذه ثاني مباراه له في هذا العام في 2022. ياتي بقياده المدرب الاسباني مولينا، مدرب مولينا هو مولينا اللي كان حارس لنادي فالنسيا ولديبورتيفو لا كورونيا ولنادي ليفانتي. كرة موجودة الآن في الأمام، محاولة والتمريرة إلى قصد إجينا على عرضية، لكن كرة تتخلص أيضا وتبعد. عادت مرة أخرى نقترب من أول 30 دقيقة والنتيجة لا تزال مستمرة بدون أهداف. منتخب الهندوراس دربهم دييغو فاسكوز اللي ايضا كان حارس مرمى، المدرب الارجنتيني، وهو المدرب الارجنتيني الوحيد اللي قاد منتخب الهندوراس. تمريره وتغيير اتجاه، لكن تمريره خاطئه مرت وعدت الى عربيه تماس. الى الان ادري حارس المرمى شباكه نظيفه، شباكه لم تتحرك ولم تتغير. بإنجمار كرة وصلت الآن، محاولة لسيميوني، أعاد الكرة إلى الخلف، لعبة طويلة أمامية حلوة كبيرة، واللعبة إلى لوتارو مررها للسلام. المحاولة موجودة علي أرمادا حاول يلعب الكرة ضاعت. تعود مرة أخرى، أسقطت في حكم اللقاء، وحكم اللقاء الآن راح يوقف اللاعب. لو سيلسو كان ينتظر، لو سيلسو اللي مرر في اللعبة الأخيرة والمحاولة اللي عدت ومرت وصدت في حكم اللقاء. هنالك أيضا بعض التعديلات اللي أقرها الاتحاد الدولي لكرة القدم. الاتحاد الدولي لكرة القدم أقر بعض التغييرات والتعديلات في الفترة الأخيرة، واللي أيضا راح يتم تطبيقها في مونديال 2026. صافرة واحدة، هذا رايح صاحب الخميس رقم 8 روزاليس يجبر باركو ويجبر ايضا سكالوني على الوقوف الى الممتع جوفاني مررها الى المادا الى لوسيلسو. حلوه اللعبه، حلوه اللعبه الماضيه من لوسيلسو، نقلها الى سيميوني، وسيميوني حاول انه يضعها بالشباك، لكن الكره بالكعب كانت وعدت والمراوغه هذه لوتارو. 4 دقائق وصل اسرائيل. شوف الكره، شوف لوسيلسو والوان هنا وبين المادا، وصلت التمريره والكره العرضيه وحاول انه يضعها بالكعب اللاعب سيميوني، لكن الكره كانت اقرب لحارس المرمى اللي امسكها بكل قوه. عادت مرمى لوسيلسو، يا عيني كره القدم تلعب بالراس. عادت مره اخرى المحاوله سيميوني، لكنها راحت الى حارس المرمى. ما شاء الله عليه مجهود كبير، عنده هدف وحيد سجله، لكن عنصر كبير قدمه مع نادي اتلتيكو مدريد، الاكثر جريا مع نادي اتلتيكو مدريد في هذا الموسم. لاعبا للريفر في البدايات، ثم ايضا زاراكوزا وارافيش والمنتخب الارجنتيني تدرج. عادت مره اخرى اليو رودريغيز غير الاتجاه، راحت بعيده الى ضربه مرمى. موسو شباكه نظيفه، حارس مرمى ايضا اتلتيكو مدريد. اللاعب موسو حارس مرمى اتلانتا اودينيزي راسي، والمنتخب الارجنتيني فقط في 3 مباريات، واليوم يجد الفرصه في هذه المباراه. إيميليانو مارتينيز يقال بانه راح يكون جاهز في مواجهه المنتخب الجزائري في بدايه المشوار. وتعود الى المانيا، محاوله وصلت هذه لوسيلسو، نقله عرضيه عادت ومرت الى ركله ركنيه الارجنتينيه. ضربه اخرى في شوط المباراه الاول، ويتمنى بان يضاعف النتيجه حتى يلعب باريحيه كبيره في شوط المباراه الثاني، وحتى يتجنب ايضا الاصابات. المدرب سكالوني يتمنى بان يطمئن على منتخب بلاده وهو منتصر، ويطمئن الجماهير بان التانجو في اتم الجاهزيه. نقول الان عرضيه على المحاوله والتمادي والراس تخلص. حلوه، يا سلام على ساندرو مارتينيز. هذا مارتينيز كان بان يسجل هدف رائع، اجمل لقطه في شوط المباراه الاول. هذا لساندرو، لو نزلت قليلا سنضمن لك البوشكاش قبل بدايه المونديال، لكنها علت العارضه الى ضربه مرمى في اللعبه الاخيره. تعود بالراس، محاوله لباركو باصابعها، لكن اللقاء يعطي الادفانتج. عادت الى حكم اللقاء احتساب الخطا. اللعبه الاخيره بالاسيوس، توقع المشاهد عدد من العناصر والاسماء في شوط المباراه الثاني. لعب الكره بالجهه اليسرى، ممتازه يختبر، ممتازه يعود بالكره ريماس المصاب من امامه. عادت مره اخرى المحاوله لباركو بدقه كبيره، يعود الكره الى الخلف، وحكم اللقاء يحتسب الخطا
الأرجنتين، أيسلندا. الأرجنتين وأيسلندا في مباراة ودية على أبو ظبي الرياضية. في مدن لا تنام وفي شوارع لا تعرف إلا الحلم ولد اسم أسطوري يمثل حكاية شعب، من أزقة الأرجنتين إلى عروش المجد في نابولي، حيث الانتصار كان أسمى من نتيجة، كان تعويضا للفقراء وصوتا لمن لا صوت لهم، الاسم الذي هتفت له الملايين، والأسطورة التي لم تعش فوق الأرض فقط بل في قلوب الناس. هذا ليس وثائقيا عن كرة القدم، إنه عن الحب، عن الشغف، عن رجل أصبح وطنا للملايين. مارادونا معجزة السماء كما لم تره من قبل. دييغو في بيبلز تشامبيون، حين يصبح اللاعب أسطورة شعب على أبو ظبي الرياضية. أمة كاملة تترقب لحظة تكتب فيها التاريخ، يجمعها قميص واحد وقلب واحد وحلم ببصمة لا تزول. فوتبول نيشن، وثائقي يغوص في الحكايات والأبطال والثقافة خلف أعظم منتخبات العالم. اكتشف الشغف الذي يصنع أمة كروية على أبو ظبي الرياضية.
In the last 50 years, no other country has taken football to greater heights in so many different ways than defending World Cup champions Argentina. In the period since Argentina's maiden World Cup title in 1978, they have lifted the trophy more times than any other nation. Their total haul of Copa America championships is almost double that of Brazil. And two Argentines are in the running to be considered the greatest player in the history of the sport. With the North American-based Lionel Messi still running games, dunked back against the Albiceleste, becoming the first team in over 60 years to defend their World Cup title.
على أبو ظبي الرياضية.
نحن جاهزين. Are you ready?
حياكم أبو ظبي.
جاهزين. Let's do it!
التحية على أبو ظبي الرياضية. عندما تتحول لعبة إلى أسطورة، هناك حيث يتألق ليو ميسي ويبصم مارادونا على عظمة اللحظة، ويعتلي بيليه عرش الكرة. لحظات تحبس الأنفاس تجسد عظمة كرة القدم. سلسلة من 26 حلقة تأسر فيها أمجاد الماضي جماهير اليوم، وتلهم نجوم الغد. أسماء تصنع التاريخ على أكبر مسارح كرة القدم. Football Greatest Stage على أبو ظبي الرياضية.
For the first time in history, the 2026 World Cup emblem features a photographic image of the actual trophy alongside the tournament hosting year. Squares and quarter circles make up the number 26, in reference to the squared edges of a football pitch and the circle of the ball. The number is made up of 48 units of these shapes, representing the 48 competing nations. The master design allows for customization to reflect the uniqueness of each of the 3 host nations and the 16 host cities. This supports the campaign accompanying the design called We Are 26, with the aim of a united North American continent welcoming the world.
يتوقف عندها العالم. لا
Ancelotti was involved.
You've literally just chopped Colombia in there, haven't you?
No, Colombia finished third in CONMEBOL, but Copa America finalists, so I think they're deservedly where they are. I can't remember who 9 and 10 are.
Dutch.
Morocco and Morocco. The Dutch and Morocco.
Someone's taking notice tonight.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of data for me to process.
To be honest with you, your phone ran off the hook. Your phone was ringing off the hook 20 minutes before the show started.
Yeah.
We were hunting you down for your power rankings.
It's a lot that goes into the rankings.
There was a lot going into your mouth at the time. That's sandwiches and crisps, and there was a power rankings to be done.
There's a lot that goes in. That's all I've got to
It's the
say.
fuel for the brain
Exactly. This is how good work this is.
The World Cup's not that long away.
power. A week away.
You need to up your game.
Sorry, Frank, but it's the Shaka curse. He said that France are going to win it, number 1 in the power ranking.
Hold on, 4 years ago I picked Argentina to win it.
Hang on. Did you initially, though? Did you change your mind after the group stages?
That don't count.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's when I thought he changed his mind. So I'm really worried, about that. But I'm pleased that he really think that France can be the favorites. I share the spot with Spain, but I'm very surprised that he put England third and only Portugal fifth. According to what I saw from Portugal and the players that they have, I think they deserve the third spot. But overall, I'm not surprised and disappointed about Shaka's power ranking. I like it, Shaka. I'm with you. I'm with you. But if France doesn't win, I will say that it's because of you we didn't win.
Make sure to join us every day here on ESPN FC, but for now, we'll let you get back to the second half.
Legs to opponent.
Argentina leading by 1-0, but that certainly has dampened the spirits of those Honduras supporters. Everybody's in like blue and white tonight, especially the players. Argentina never change kit. College Station in Texas. Kyle Fields superintendent. And everyone's wondering about Lionel Messi. He's on the bench. Will he stay there? Will he get some minutes? There are a number of Argentina youngsters who aren't in the 26-man squad but are on the bench tonight. Nicolas Capaldo, Ignacio Obando, Simon Escobar, Tomas Aranda, Joaquin Fritz. There he is. Would you want his lifestyle? Yeah. But everything that goes with it. You can't just take bits of it. It's all or nothing. Yeah. But then again, I am very comfortable staying in my house. Yeah, lovely. And let me tell you, if I had the budget that Lionel Messi has, I would really make a nice house with everything that I need and want. But that's me. Other people may have the need to go and interact with the world. I don't feel that need just even now in my regular life. So I could make it work. For others may be difficult. For me, it would be no problem.
And for those that say, well, man, he doesn't have a social life, this and that and the other, he can't go out. I don't care. I bring the world to my house.
You've got enough pals to bring around?
Yeah.
I think you can afford a security system.
Yeah.
A couple of ring cameras.
That'd be all right. I could make it work.
I mean, you do get a taste of Messi's life when you come into to do an ESPN FC show. Everyone in the corridors throwing things at you. Can you sign this, Ali?
Well, yes, but you know what?
Somebody's got to do it.
It's tough work. Somebody's got to do it.
And why not me? I was talking to someone about one of your phrases, and I mixed up your metaphors. I said, for your grandmother lays her eggs.
Oh, no.
It was just, no. No. Goodness.
So my grandmother hangs her
I
clothes.
know, I just lay the eggs, but I mixed metaphor. I love your phrases, I just didn't get them right. There you go.
In the meantime, Rodrigo de Paul is coming up here.
Chester hat. Away with that. Let's go to the football. The only place to get away with that. Over the 12th man, the Aggies. What's he saying then? Rigo de Paul. Hang on. 19 of Argentina's 26-man squad have been called up for this one. They are stripped. We shall be seeing this young man. Now, he's very interesting because he's got a famous dad, Maynor Figueroa. He plays for Liverpool reserves, Errol Figueroa. He was a former US Under-20 international. He moved to the Liverpool Academy from FC Dallas in 2016. We shall be seeing him shortly. Rodrigo de Paul comes on for Argentina, as does that young man, Kundo Medina, from the juniors. Say young, he's 27, but when you get to my age, everybody's young. So a couple of changes. Figueroa, looking forward to seeing him. Yet in his debut, when the referee blows the whistle, it is a friendly, so he could still potentially change nationality back to the US. But we're on the way for the second half. It's a debut for Errol Figueroa. We are seeing for Kundo Medina and Rodrigo de Paul on for Argentina. Speaking beforehand about just make sure everyone comes through unscathed. From Argentina perspective ahead of their World Cup opener against Algeria, Tuesday the 16th in Kansas City. Don't see any need for that. Lautaro quickly to the left-hand side.
This could be an opportunity for a second goal and very close. Really nice move, and Almada unable to apply the finishing touch, but he did get some sort of touch.
Beautiful touch, really, and I look for Facundo Medina. His first participation and involvement in the game finds the run of Almada, and I'm thinking Thiago Almada
Doesn't need to take it first on. He actually had more time than he realized. He could have brought the ball down and given himself a better opportunity. Rushed the attempt, didn't make the contact that he wanted, still won up. Facundo Medina has come on the field for Nicolás Tagliafico. And I'm thinking that Rodrigo de Paul came on the field for Valentin Marquez.
He did indeed. Argentina on the front foot to begin this second half. Medina can also play as a centre back, has done for Boca. He's a left back tonight. Rodrigo de Paul, Messi's teammate at Inter Miami, former teammate Juliano at Atletico Madrid.
Can I tell you, these are important minutes for Rodrigo de Paul.
Sure.
For people that may follow Inter Miami and those that may not, let me just tell you, he hasn't had the best of seasons with Inter Miami. And by saying that he hasn't, there have been moments in which Rodrigo de Paul has been underwhelming. And I think
some of it has to do with the fact they won the title last year. It almost feels like job done with Inter Miami, and he was looking ahead to the World Cup, and there wasn't a whole lot of investment in the early part of this season by Rodrigo de Paul in his individual performances with Inter Miami. Well, here we are, days away from the start of the World Cup, and Argentina, and in particular, Lionel Messi need the best of Rodrigo de Paul if they're going to be successful in this tournament.
There's been a common theme for anybody that's come to Major League Soccer over the years. Those who buy into it have usually been successful. Those that don't, they don't always last.
It felt like he bought into it last season and closed the season really well with Inter Miami, scored a goal in MLS Cup. But the start of the season has been very uneven for Rodrigo de Paul, and I suppose you can make that same argument for all of Inter Miami. But his performances individually, you're expecting a whole lot more.
So what?
And Argentina are going to need a whole lot more than what he has given Inter Miami so far this season.
Foul on Figueroa and the yellow for Lautaro. He had that challenge on Eric Moncada in the first half that he got away with. He didn't get away with this.
Yeah, that'll do it. He's late. Comes over the top of the ball. Almada has more time. He's unable to bring the ball down. If he just takes a correct touch with it,
Stretching.
I think he can bring the ball down. And if he brings the ball down, then he gives himself a real opportunity. It wasn't the best touch on the ball.
Cap for Rodrigo de Paul.
A switch. Medina. Mada to Palacios. Space here for Lo Celso. Giuliano. Big chance. Awful attempt by Thiago Almada.
Oh, mommy. I think he's surprised he has so much time. That he's allowed and afforded the opportunity to turn. It's almost as if it's no longer instincts taking over. It's like, why am I so open? Why am I so open? I guess I have to rush. At some point, they're going to come and close me down. And eventually, he gets it all wrong.
He had a underwhelming first season at Atletico Madrid following his move from Botafogo. A lot of talk that he's one and done in Spain and he might be on the move again. See, Atleti, if you're not going to be an integral part of their future plans, they'll make sure they don't lose money on you. They'll either get what they paid, 21 million, or a little profit. They'll not hang around any players that they seem as potentially surplus to requirements.
What I would say about his performance for Atletico Madrid this season, one, injuries were a problem, but beyond that, I don't think he ever really found what his role was in the team.
I don't know what position he was best at in that setup.
Correct. And so it's almost as if he's like, well, it's not quite a winger type, but he's not really an underneath guy. So he's not a guy that can have just freedom to do whatever he wants. And if it's not well defined with Simeone, he's not going to go out of his way to define it for you.
First bit was good by Rosales, the second bit not so much. Even tonight for Thiago Almada, he's kind of sometimes drifting, sometimes playing central. Right now he's kind of playing in that advanced 8, 10 role. That's a little clip of Lo Celso's heels. Luis Palma, who's not known for his tackling. Neither is that man. Neil Maldonado.
Already gone. It's clearly foul and a yellow card. For a guy like Thiago Almada, not just not trying to drive the point home here or anything, but you would expect him to dominate games like tonight, for example. That he would be able to really stand out above some of his defending players from Honduras. And yeah, he's had a couple moments, but you never really get the sense of, man, this guy is something else. At least not based on what we have seen today or what we saw with Atletico Madrid.
Because we're agreeing with the call for the conductor of the orchestra, Lautaro. Ayano had made the run through. It's the reset, makes another run. Lautaro. Sakaza gets there first. And a heavy touch. Go in for Argentina. Good bit of pressure this. The Albi Celeste. Intricate, but it needs to be an end product.
It's intricate and it's very central. There isn't a whole lot of space in that part of the field, and there isn't a whole lot of width to Argentina, which then makes it easier for Honduras to defend.
Finally a bit of width. Almada drifted. Molina, he's got his Honduras team very well drilled. They know the rules. Behind for Lautaro, little back flick. Chance for Giuliano, it's two. Lovely goal.
Inside towards Lautaro Martinez. And it is in that movement of Lautaro Martinez and the recognition of the space by Giuliano Simeone coming from the right-hand side, far more natural for him to go from outside to in. The layup from Lautaro Martinez, the run from Simeone, the initial run of Lautaro Martinez that opens the space centrally, that is well recognized, sorted out and picked out by Giuliano Simeone. Little back heel action, good finish, 2-0. Well built by Argentina, and well deserved goal by Giuliano Simeone.
Yeah, super goal, super assist, and super finish. Angel's about to come on. A lot of Argentina fans in attendance. See if that's the only change that the team is going to make. If you see Messi, you probably don't see him until later on. Assistants, along with Pablo Aymar and Roberto Ayala. Talented quartet of players. Good mess with Walter Samuel, though.
Sure, you could have a pretty competitive coaching match.
Yeah, right.
Before or after practice, a little small-sided game for the coaching staff.
Watching Aymar in that Valencia team in the early 2000s.
We're a long way from that. We went in.
They're trying to sell this Nuevo Mestalla. It's the only show in town. We want Messi is the cry from the Argentina supporters in attendance, and probably the Honduras fans as well.
the fans at the stadium cannot hear me, but I would suggest that I wouldn't hold my breath.
No. And if you get a glimpse of him on the field, it shall not be for long. Right by Rodrigo de Paul. Kind of taking up that role that you asked him to.
Here's the thing with Thiago Almada. He's taking more of a center, and he's a guy that is supposed to give you some width down the left-hand side. If he's tucked all the way, and that means that Medina has to give you the width down the left. The problem is that I don't think Thiago Almada is such a good player in tight spaces that he becomes very useful to you and goes underneath spaces consistently. So
That's back here by Palacio. A lot of players involved in this move. Medina taken late by Menendez. Leon, Almada's layoff. And Lo Celso denied by the block. They look like they're going to create something every time they come forward, Argentina, in the second half. Been very lively.
Now that was a whole lot better from Thiago Almada. It was 1 and 2 touches, and more importantly, there was movement. Once he laid the ball off, there was actually a change of pace to get into open space in behind the Honduras back line.
Dropping short and picking up space. Right across the base and the header. And somehow stopped. These are not yet over. Eventually Honduras get it away to Moncada. Figueroa. Got a man inside, and he could have got it through. That could have been an opportunity. But now with a couple of bodies forward, they might be in a position to be advantage of Argentina.
He was so concerned by the 3 defenders that were on him that wasn't able to get his head up and pick out the run, the supporting run coming from behind.
Argentina 2-0 up. Looking good. Rodrigo de Paul. Just over the head of Lautaro and back Magdalena. You noticed anything different from the way Argentina have gone about their business in these 15 minutes of the second half compared to what we saw for the majority of the first half?
Quicker movement of the ball, and a lot more balls actually going forward first and then coming back rather than sideways back. When you do that, then you push Honduras further back, which then allows the underneath spaces to be operated by guys like Almada when he comes into that space. Lo Celso has been really good on the turn. The fact that you have the presence of Rodrigo de Paul from deeper then frees up Lo Celso to go and combine more advanced positions, and then all the activity that you get on the right-hand side from Simeone.
Changes. For each side. Which again in 20 minutes. No, Messi's not on. Here we go. Good luck, Mark. Thank you. See you again, Sean. Just numbers out of the bingo contest. Do this as come on. I would like to see a little bit more of Derek Moncada. Look at this test. This is an 18-year-old that we'll see a bit more of. That is off. Rodriguez is off. Santiago's off. Alistair coming on off Celso. I say, that's what they do it all at once, like this, rather than run. Sandro Martinez.
At this point, I don't know whether you're talking to me or you're talking to yourself.
And a underway. 22 players. Here's one. Games was on for Thiago Almada. While we were talking about the best second half. Here from Honduras. Bodies forward. Not the best. His teammates are letting him know that. The fact that we actually use the name of Flaco Lopez. Love that. Will we stick with Josema or will we go Jose Manuel? Give me his full name or just Jose or will we go Flaco? Well, yeah, apparently it's Flaco Lopez. It was Josh McGinn playing for Scotland earlier. John was unaware and his name would be changed. Flaco Lopez. Stick with Jose, shall we? They're still going. Something a few minutes ago. Rodrigo de Paul with a diagonal, looking for Giuliano. Might have a chance to capitalize on the opposition having made 4 changes. Not quite gelling just yet. We're trying to figure out where they're playing. Is this Argentina's back to the 2 centre-backs for Otamendi in the middle?
I imagine so. So if you had asked me that same question following the 2022 World Cup, I would not have thought that Otamendi would be around for this World Cup. And yet, give him credit. He's a player that with all his experience at 38 years old, and he's still throwing his body around. He's still effective enough to play at a high level. I do think that isolated 1v1 situations, you can take advantage of his lack of speed at this point in his career. He can be reckless with his challenges. He was that even when he was younger. Romero is also a very reckless player and had a reckless season with Spurs. I don't think Lisandro Martinez is an improvement on that either. He too can be reckless, had a reckless challenge in the first half today. My concern would be who is the common influence in that center back position? Who is the one organizing? Who takes the leadership role? And I suppose it would have to be Nicolas Otamendi. So I took the cynic route, so I'll just go ahead and say, yeah, probably this is your starting back line for Argentina in the center back position anyway.
You still got there quicker than the team has got to where they needed to be, having come out onto the pitch at the start. They walked along the line and then eventually took their positions for the national. World Cup squad number is 8.
Although when you start sort of reading signs, you're kind of thinking, okay, well, if Otamendi is your starting center back, why is he on the field right now? Does that then mean that he's completely off in the game against Iceland and he doesn't play a minute as he is fully prepared for Algeria? These are the calculations that players are making. They're working things out as the decisions are being made by coaches. And I'm trying to put myself in the mind of Otamendi saying, okay, well, why am I still out here? It must mean that I'm not playing against Iceland, which then in turn means that I'm potentially starting against Algeria.
by Luis Vega. Didn't get enough on it, Alexis McAllister. Good work. Cooling break brought to you by Celsius. I think the one thing we've definitely learned tonight is that it's not a good idea to play Giuliano on the left.
Now, does that look like a player who's about to come on the field?
I don't think so. I think those minutes might be against Iceland.
Yeah.
Tickets have been sold, seats are sat on. I don't think it was done in any way to try and maximise the crowd. To be honest, Scaloni said, look, we'll get some minutes either against Honduras or against Iceland. And show up and bring the kids. He wants to see Messi. He may get some at the end, but the opening goal, the penalty spot after a clumsy challenge by Melendez and Tagliafico. This is a lovely goal.
Yes, it is. All back and through. Good movement away from the ball from Lautaro Martinez. Unselfish play. Intelligent play in recognizing the movement of Giuliano Simeone. Also intelligent play from Simeone in understanding where the space was going to be for him. Good little layup and then the finish from Giuliano Simeone.
2-0. Does the World Cup excite you as a football fan? And I'm asking this question as someone whose nation hasn't qualified since 98 and 02, 06, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022. I tried to enjoy it as a football fan because my nation wasn't there. How do you, as a Venezuela former player, countryman, fan, look at this World Cup?
I love the World Cup. Love the World Cup. That's why it bothers me so much that we haven't made it yet.
Yeah.
Because I would want us to have the feeling that the fans from Argentina have and the fans from Scotland and those that are preparing for the World Cup have, that anticipation, that sense of belonging in the big time, if you will, being part of the big dance. It's no fun being on the outside looking in, but that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the World Cup. I certainly do. And some of my best memories of my time with my father and my brother was traveling in the '98 World Cup all over France, in which, by the way, I got to see our colleague Craig Burley playing for Scotland against Brazil. So in that sense, I love it. As any fan that enjoys this sport, and I want to get behind collecting the cards. I want to fill up the album. I want to watch the games. I want the drama. I want all of it. I also would want all of it with my country in it.
Yeah, sure.
I certainly would prefer that, but yeah, I love the World Cup.
The yellow card for Medina. To the game earlier today, Bolivia against Scotland. The second half was a non-entity. The first half was a good watch. The danger is when you make the changes at half-time, but this hasn't been like that. The changes were good. They didn't decrease the quality of the respective sides. The energy level is still there. Both sides cross on the left.
Let's assume it's because of changes in personnel.
he is so much better and so much more comfortable on the right-hand side. Even in the run that ended up in his goal, that movement outside to in, that is so natural to him when he's playing on the right-hand side. I'm not sure he's able to recognize that from the left-hand side because you don't see the field from the same sort of angle.
Outside score a golazo. Glasses. Rodrigo de Paul. I'm sure Luis Palma just sitting off him is a good idea. Palma right now is just running around. Not as quick as he was in the first half. Corner kick. Alexis McAllister.
Alexis McAllister could use a few productive minutes to lift up his level of play. He was one of the many players at Liverpool this season that underperformed. And much like Rodrigo de Paul, he's going to have to elevate his level of play in the World Cup.
This corner kick is brought to you by Enterprise. It's the fourth of the game for Argentina. Taken by Rodrigo de Paul, but like the previous ones, Honduras have defended them well. Giving up so much space, and he can hit them. Strangely enough, you'll notice his 86th cap. I would have taken the over. Someone had offered me 3 international goals for Rodrigo de Paul. So he scored 2.
Earlier in his career, Rodrigo de Paul was a far more attacking-minded midfielder than what he has become over the last, I suggest, 4 or 5 years.
At the age, he's 32 now. Axel Witsel, if he played much longer, maybe didn't go. Teammate of Rodrigo de Paul, it's the furthest back he ever played in the game.
Right around where Rodrigo de Paul is right now. And I knew my time was coming to an end when that happened.
You just see him get very differently though from that position. Behind for Lautaro.
It's quite boring back there. Let me just tell you. And it's all sideways and back. And let me just find the right ball to the right back and the left back and net. That's pretty amazing.
Somebody somewhere has got the Messi 10 jersey. As far as probably the kid. As to whether or not it will be given to Lionel. Where? On? More changes to come, putting a change in goal. Beltran, come on. His first cap, the play goalkeeper. Well, the other young Nicolas Capaldo, Nicolas Aranda. Aranda also making his debut, the 19-year-old Boca. Capaldo plays for Hamburg, wins his first cap as well. Eventually, once we work out which numbers, no, 15, no, he's not, that says 5. 15's already been placed. Argentina outfielders and the goalie later. 55 minutes added. I think the referee's just like, look, can we just take this free kick and we can make the changes? Delivery from Jose Reyes. This is Luis Palma. He leaves it for Cole. Honduras. Extra couple minutes for Juan Musso. Miranda. Roberto Rivas. Back to the subs. Hello, Ali.
But I'm not doing the math correctly. I don't think I have enough Honduras players in my sheet here.
Who would have thunk it that the number 10 in blue and white that played tonight was Luis Palma, not Lionel Messi. So far. Referee's spotting something there. Go back, stops Honduras in their tracks. And back to this. Honduras are going to change, and Ivar, goalkeeper, will be placed. Argentina, Beltran replaces Russo. Still named the numbers now, isn't it? The number 10 in blue and white goes off. We've got a 6 and a 26. The players don't need it though. Just go on. Don't come off yet. Luis Ortiz. Sure. Plays for Motagua.
I played against Motagua.
CONCACAF Champions League?
Yep.
How'd you do?
League tied 1-1 in Tegucigalpa, and then won in LA.
Yellow Galaxy and advanced. My favorite memory of the CONCACAF Champions League was doing a game late at night with Shaka Islam, and someone in their wisdom had chosen the second leg, not the first leg, between Alpha United and Herediano. The first leg was 8-0. Oh. Second leg was a difficult sell. You get an early goal, you never know. Flash of legs and a free kick away. This is time to get back to the subs. Yellow Randa. On for Sergio Palacios. Aranda is his name. Players, you go inside now.
I get wrong, Mark. I leave it to you.
Well, the hardest working of the match presented by Lowe's Home Improvement is you and I for the kids. It's not really. Who is your Lowe's Home Improvement hardest worker of the match?
Oh boy, I'm gonna give it 2. Goal and assist for Lautaro Martinez is good, but given that it is the hardest working, I'm gonna go with Giuliano Simeone. Scored a nice goal and was dangerous, particularly when he was on the right-hand side. I think he gives his team a different element and a sense perhaps of chaos in the attack that creates difficulties defensively for other teams, and I think that was in full display today against Honduras.
I think someone, if he stayed on the pitch, he would have been in contention for your hardest work. It would be Valentin Barco.
He may have been,
But he went off.
and so it doesn't qualify.
Thank you. It's in the rules. It's now becoming the second half that we saw between Bolivia and Scotland earlier, whereby it's just stop-start because of changes and all sorts. But for the first hour, there's plenty of positives for Lionel Scaloni.
Can I tell you a random story about Tegucigalpa? When we went and played Motagua, I didn't realize this in Tegucigalpa, but as we're about to land in Tegucigalpa, pilot comes on and says, this is a different approach than the usual, and we are highly trained for this, and
That's never good.
and you're kind of thinking, wait a minute, what are we talking about here? And sure enough, the plane kind of goes on an embankment kind of thing, and kind of goes into a valley, and it's a pretty rough landing. It's a short landing at the runway there in Tegucigalpa. And what I thought was more concerning than anything else is that as you are then taxiing in what is a very short runway, you see the leftovers of what obviously was a plane that did not stop on time. I hope by now they removed it. It was a plane who clearly had issues landing in Tegucigalpa. So if you're ever going to land in Tegucigalpa, know that it's a different approach than the usual stuff.
Inflate us on for glass. Mendy. To go, plus added time. Involvement for Freitas. Aldo's kind of playing on the left-hand side in front of Medina. This is McAllister's now more central. See Manuel Lopez still leading the line. Just giving a wee shot if he can. Captain Palmeiras right. World Cup as well for Julian.
Where's Julian Alvarez going to play next season? There's a question.
See, I've been enjoying Atleti's tweets.
They're entertaining, they're enjoyable. However, I don't know how much of a hard stance they can take if the player then says, yeah, I don't want to be here.
Can Barcelona afford him?
I don't know that. That's a completely different question. The math for Barcelona is different than the math I was taught in school. Assuming that they can, if the player comes to Atletico Madrid and says, yeah, this whole thing with Simeone is not for me, then even though your treats have been very interesting and enjoyable and funny, if you are Atletico Madrid, you may end up that that's out of your control. So I'll repeat the question, Mark. Where is Julián Álvarez playing next season?
Atletico.
All right.
Yeah. Not to say he doesn't end up in Barcelona one day, but
You don't have to qualify to tell me. You make your position clear.
so who the replacement for Lewandowski will be. Where they got Anthony Gordon providing the service. Will they go back in for Rashford? He's obviously got his position wrapped up.
That's another thing that doesn't make sense. They go and get Anthony Gordon, spending $50 million more than it would have cost them to just keep Marcus Rashford. In a player that is going to occupy a very similar position. And oh, by the way, I don't think either one of them, if everyone's healthy, starts for Barcelona.
One bed, quickly accepted.
That's a decent hit from Aranda.
Save Luis Ortiz.
Now they both feel like they participated in the game. Yes. Takes it on the inside, tries to bend it on far post. Ortiz gets a good save on it, good hand on it. Corner kick.
Go to 26. Turkish Airlines. Man that had to strike. Thomas Aranda takes the goal. Good up. Couldn't keep it down though. He's a threat from set plays. He can also be a threat to his own goalkeeper in his own box.
Can be a threat to blow up a locker room too. His behavior this season with Spurs was something else. Let me tell you. The team was struggling to stay up, and he took up for Argentina. Now, his behavior is not great, but the fact that Spurs allowed him to do it, that's not great either. Some would say, well, he was injured, he wasn't going to play, but that's not the point. If you're a leader within a team, and the team is struggling, there's an expectation that you have to be part of the group, not just take off to Argentina and then nurse whatever injury you had away from your club team when your club team is about to go down.
I think we see something similar between Argentina and Iceland on Tuesday.
I think that will be the dress rehearsal, and we'll see something closer to what the actual starting line against Algeria will be. That'll do it. He went after the ball, got a minor touch on the ball, but got a whole lot of Honduras there.
Players seem to have forgotten that it's no longer a case of winning the ball is acceptable and it should be considered a fair challenge. That law changed many years ago. For a consolation, Honduras. So if a good fight, been well organised tonight. Opened up from Jose Reyes.
And I give her a quick shout out to my roommate, beloved roommate with the LA Galaxy, who's watching the game right now and listened to my story about Motagua when we went to Tegucigalpa, and he thought exactly about the same thing. Gavin Clinton, I hope my guy is doing great. So just send me a text message.
Probably just brought back flashbacks.
Oh, it wasn't a great man, let me tell you.
Looking sad about the pieces of the plane that you were visible out the window.
Gavin Clinton and I lived together in an apartment in Burbank, California. It was not. I can attest and assure you that he was not.
Has Lionel Scaloni learned anything tonight, first hour?
No, I think it's just a useful exercise, and you got what you wanted from Giannis Simeone, you got what you wanted from Lautaro Martinez. There's some young players in, some made their debut, some got additional experience. More importantly, nobody got hurt. Useful minutes for a guy like Rodrigo De Paul and Alexis McAllister. Again, what you want out of this match is get repetition, get useful minutes. It's been all of that for Argentina. It's been a dominant performance as we expected it to be. Not as goal dangerous as I would have wanted them to be, but nonetheless 2-0 and comfortable.
Yeah, they don't play until Tuesday the 16th, the first group game, so a stronger lineup, a bit more intensity perhaps. In Auburn on Tuesday against Ice. Second goal was just a lovely, well work. Joining us.
There's also something to be said about the fact that you're getting closer to the World Cup. Players will go through the exercise by knowing full well that, all right, no need to take any chances or risk, and it's the same approach that Lionel Messi would take. Hence why Lionel Messi didn't play today.
There's no Messi, but no problem for Argentina. There's by 2 goals to nil. Messi was on the bench, but not risked. Likely to get some minutes. He simply won't start against Iceland on Tuesday.
Good workout. Scaloni and Jose Molina.
Respective coaches. Carlos penalty. Carlos nice finish after a beautiful assist from Lautaro in the back here. And then the last half hour was just lots of changes.
10 for Honduras.
And loads for Argentina as well. Did we see the World Cup winners tonight?
Not this version of Argentina, but maybe the one that we see against Iceland for the first 45 minutes or so. Argentina has everything that you want in order to, at the very least, reach the latter stages of the competition. Now, there's an element of good fortune that you had to have in order to win the World Cup. They had that in Qatar in 2022. It's a question as to whether they'll have that this time round. Is Diego Martinez making the big save against Randall Colomwani at the end of the World Cup final? If you go to penalty kicks in the quarterfinals against the Netherlands, as they did in Qatar, are you advancing past that? Are you winning a penalty kick shootout in the final if that were the case? Those things, there's an element of good fortune that comes with that. So the tools are there for Argentina. There's a lot of experience, a lot of talent. They still got the magic of Lionel Messi, who can provide something special, and Lautaro Martinez, man of the match. Presented by EA Sports.
FC 26, the world's game. A goal and an assist for Lautaro. Argentina get the job done. Excellent crowd at College Station at Kyle Field. They didn't see Lionel Messi, but they did see Argentina beat Honduras by 2-0. Morocco against Norway tomorrow. Argentina back in action on ESPN on Tuesday night in Auburn against Iceland. For Ali Moreno, I'm Mark Donaldson. We'll see you again soon.